Hi everyone, this is Jeanne-Marie Taylor of Jeanne-Marie Taylor Muse. It's wonderful to be with you today. This message is for light workers, but not just for light workers, not just for mystics, but really for all of us who are spiritual seekers, all of us who try to communicate regularly with angels, with guides, with our loved ones in spirit, or really any being in another dimension. And that includes, of course, God, source energy, the creator, the divine realm, however you would like to characterize that. My message to all of us is brief. The current crisis was foreseen. And I want you to know that because of that, what I am noticing in my work, in my daily communications with my angels and guides, I'm noticing that the veils have thinned. Angel communication, communication with our animals who are in spirit, literally every kind of communication is generally going to be easier right now than it ever has been, most likely in your entire lifetime. If you can just be present and breathe and stay focused and stay calm. Now, you might wonder, why am I saying this? How do I know this? How do I know that the veil between the dimensions is somehow thinner? Well, I have a commitment to only report to people the things that I experience myself. I never want to be a spiritual teacher who is simply reading what other people have written and then passing it along. That's not how I function. That's not why I'm here. I'm always here to share with you firsthand what I am receiving. So I just want you to know that I have felt in my own work. I have noticed also from discussing this matter with other credible light workers that this really seems to be the case, that communication across dimensions has just gotten a little bit easier. Let me give you an example of something that happened so that you can really understand that this, what's going on now, the crisis going on now, was foreseen, and that we are being very strongly supported energetically from the beings of light and love in the universe. So here's the story. I guess this must have been around November or December of 2019. I told a couple of friends about it, the ones who wouldn't think I was crazy. I told a couple of friends about this, and yeah, they seemed to remind me. We think it was around November or December. But here's what happened. I left my house. I went out for a meditation walk, and I was around the front driveway. And I happened to look up at the sky and I could see the moon, but it was almost, if you can imagine this, I live in a remote rural area, it was almost like the trees were parting. I was like, how did the moon end up positioned just exactly right for me to see it right here as I stand right here in this spot? That alone that told me that something was different. That I would happen to have been there at just the right time to see the moon from that angle through all of the heavy treetops that are all around me. But there it was, just so unexpectedly. I'd never seen the moon pop up in that way in just that one spot. And as I looked at it, was so hard to describe. It was a very beautiful feeling. It was almost like the moon was looking back at me. There was a sense of divine presence. There was a beautiful sense of love and belonging and togetherness. There was a feeling of God and the angelic realm and all sorts of beings of love and light coming closer to the earth now. And there was a little component of fear, I must admit, because I realized somehow in that sort of knowingness that a lot of you have, a lot of my friends and clients have this feeling that it's called clear cognizance or clear psychic knowing, when you just suddenly know something, right? And you don't know how you know it. So I just knew that they were coming closer, the divine realm, in order to help us with some major thing that was coming. So it was as though our angels and our guides were closer. And what really took my breath away was as I was looking up at the moon. Oh, with my clear audience, my clear psychic hearing. Oh, wow. I heard them say very simply two words: we're here. And it just blew me away. The love, the light, the connection. Oh, the energies. It was just absolutely amazing. I knew without a doubt that I was communicating with the divine realm, that beautiful, very simple, just elegantly simple language, just two words. We're here. We're here. Doesn't that feel lovely when you need help, just to know that the beings of love and light love us so much that they came closer to help us? And that's exactly how it felt then, although I sort of knew that something bad, I'm sorry to say, or something difficult, something challenging, some sort of shift was coming that many of us would find difficult. And then shortly after that, there was another clue, and then another clue, and then another clue. And maybe I'll go into those at another point. But the point here is that I wasn't scared at all, because I just knew that they were here to protect us, to love us, to protect all of us. And it was such a great feeling of love. There are so many beautiful messages coming in now to me and to other people as I speak to my friends and to my clients. There's so much support right now from the energetic realm, from those largely unseen, unless you're clairvoyant, those largely unseen realms. There's so much support. There's so much presence. They really do feel closer. And it strikes me also that some of you listening right now might have had your own mystical experiences, an experience that either foretold this shift that we're going through globally, or perhaps you have felt that very special divine feeling of closeness, that the human race is not alone at this time. So I would love to hear any of the experiences that you would like to share. Feel free to comment below if you have had a similar premonition or some kind of experience that echoes what happened with me. This has happened to many people. I'm not alone, and I would love to hear what you yourself have noticed. And if you haven't noticed anything, well, you know what? I invite you to tune in, because literally what I'm trying to say here is, even if you're someone who thinks, well, I never get any divine messages, I never get any channeled messages, I'm lucky if every once in a while I might feel my grandma's presence with me. Well, you know what? Give yourself another chance. Try at some point to do something that you might have tried before, even if it didn't work before. It might work now, because again, there is a sense that the veils are thinner. So some of you who feel like, oh, I'm not really a psychic, I'm not really a medium, I don't get messages, I don't communicate with angels. Hey, you know what? Try again. You might have a better experience doing it now. You might find yourself more able to energetically connect. It really does seem easier now. So I invite you to think about that. I invite you to try again. Keep reaching towards your angels, your guides, your loved ones in spirit. They are so close. Remember their message. We are here. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. This is Jeanne-Marie Taylor of Jeanne-Marie Taylor Muse on Facebook.